What's going on, guys? My name is ASAP Flash, and you probably not already know who it is at this point. And here is part two of showing off my CD collection. And, well, here we go. First CD in this video is Codename Cambria. It's a long ass title, but I'll just refer to it as 4, or if the full title you want is Good Apollo on Burning Star 4, Volume 1, From Fear to the Eyes of Madness. Long fucking title. This is the album that introduced me to the group, to Codename Cambria. Actually, picked this up at a Hot Topic. I don't remember how old I was. Maybe this was released in '05. I'm guessing, yeah, it's '05. So 14 years. I was about 15 when this album was released. Damn. Um, it's kind of a funny story about this because that was around the time I started like buying more parental advisory stickers, and my mom was kind of like, she thought cursing was the worst thing possible. So she went up to the employees and was like, "Oh, how bad is this CD?" And they're basically saying it's nothing that you already heard already. I mean, could be worse, could be a lot worse. I think exposing. I mean, not really directly exposing your kid to violent content, but more like saying, yeah, shit like this exists, but at the same time, don't really say it when you're eating dinner or whatever. The next album is Coldplay, X and Y. Is that what it's called? Yeah, X and Y. It's funny though because uh, when I had when my CD collection started growing, I had this in there with some metal albums or rock albums or whatever, and I always felt kind of ashamed of having Coldplay in my CD collection. And one day I lent my CD collection to a friend, and he said that his uncle actually liked a Coldplay, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah. And then I thought about it, like the thing with Coldplay, I think in the earlier in the career, they're actually like inventive with their sound, and kind of like their own band. Whereas now it's kind of like they're like a commercial band where they sound exactly like all the other pop acts. So it's nothing new, nothing to get excited about. The next CD is um, The Color Morale, and the album is The Devil Is in Your Eyes. I think I might have listened to this only once or something. I actually bought this at a Color Morale show, and I don't know. Maybe I should listen to it more often. But it's actually pretty good. It's like Rise core as it were. Like they're signed to Rise Records, obviously. They have that kind of aesthetics. I mean, they're a Christian metal band. But like, I mean, I appreciate stuff like that. That's just kind of like more about the music than it is about the preaching. I mean, people actually like For Today, to my surprise, but I don't know. I'm not a big fan of like you're listening to their shit, or at the live show, and the singer just like, I'm gonna preach for the word of God, and people are like, yay. And, nah, I don't want to be preached, but hey, to each their own, I guess. The next album is Creed, the greatest hits. The thing I think is kind of funny, like actually, this was around at the church that went to. People would play it like from time to time or whatever, and excuse me. So like I actually liked a few songs in there, and then my dad, being the kleptomaniac that he is, he kind of stole it, and I was like, listened to it a few times, and I'm like, I asked for it for Christmas once, and surprise, surprise, he gave it to me for Christmas, which is pretty cool. My own copy of it instead of being stolen or whatever. Yeah, he eventually bought the CD that he stole back, but I just think it's kind of funny. Like, oh, no one's looking. Oh, I'm gonna take it for myself. And the next CD is Daft Punk's Random Access Memories, and I think it's kind of funny. Like when this album came out, a lot of people hated on it. I don't know why, but It's the internet. People are gonna hate on a lot of shit because it's the internet. That's why. But the way I saw it is like a kind of a celebration of music, especially like a music from like the disco era, the funk eras, and it being a techno band and kind of like an EDM. I think they did a really good job at giving homage. Well, not really homage, but like a love letter, as it were, to how dance music got started with Jojo Moore. I don't know how to pronounce this guy's name. Giorgio Moroder or something. If it wasn't for him, basically the world of dance music probably wouldn't exist because he's the one that made that kind of like synthesizer keyboards or whatever it was. The next album is Dance Gavin Dance, and the album is Mothership. Yeah, dude. Actually bought this with the Asasis strain and Chelsea Grin back at the July. They had this kind of sale, like a $5 sale for the month, and I heard this I heard this band before. It's really like experimental, like kind of rock, kind of just mixes all kind of the genres in there, and obviously, when people mix genres, they're not really gonna have a large fan base, or not a lot of people are gonna like it, which I think is kind of interesting because typically, the bands that people gravitate towards are just very like maybe generic, or they don't really try new stuff with their song. But this band just like does a lot of crazy shit with their music, and it's interesting to listen to, and yeah. The next album is Dead Mouse 4x4, where 4 times 4 equals 12. Some kind of math whiz he is. It's not that bad album, dude. Excuse me. Sometimes I lose breath when I talk a lot, so whatever. Um, so yeah, this album not that bad. It's actually fun to listen to. Yeah. On to the next album, whatever. Uh, the next album is Decimated Humans. To provoke genocide. Look, dude, I'm not like a huge fan of this style of music. I mean, it's alright, you know, brutal ass fucking death metal that just makes Slayer look like Nickelback. I mean, that kind of heavy shit. Yeah, man. I mean, it feels like when I'm in a certain mood for it, that's when it's acceptable for me or whatever. But I actually bought that album to support a friend who's a musician. I was like, you know what, dude, I'm gonna show you my support. I may not be a fan of it, but hey, to grow your career or whatever, more power to you. And I feel like that has to be done. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people just like, oh, I don't like anything you do and shit on it all together. But there has to be some kind of support. I mean, you're granted you're not gonna like everything that's out there, but at least if you, support your friends with their dreams or whatever, they'll likely be less miserable. You know. The next album is The Devil Wears Prada Plagues. I actually bought this at Barnes and Noble. I think back like similar with the Asasis strain in the first video, the Wormwood, when I was just spending money like crazy. I bought this at Barnes and Noble mainly because of the album cover. It just I don't think I knew or what the Devil Wears Prada was, but I just bought it because of the album cover. It looks so bombastic and just really insane looking. So I bought that, and it came with a live like a footage of the concert. Yeah, it was like really fun, really interesting. The next album is Devil Wears Prada Zombie EP. Now it's kind of interesting with